So I'm gonna say Happy New Year, and can you guys do like a brrr, like those noises, like a brrr, or whatever, and like a Happy New Year.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I'm gonna say.
I can't believe with this all you're able to pull everything possible and can have your own server in your house, but you can't figure out how to insert sound effects into this podcast.
Here we are, and welcome to a special Happy New Year edition of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. This is going to be a little bit of a different format today, as you will be hearing clips, not a clip show of past things, but what we decided to do was wrap up the year with some top 5 segments. And so you'll be hearing from us, and you'll be hearing from some of our favorite guests and listeners. And with that, I wish my sisters, Becky and Lily, a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Wait, are we supposed to go do?
Yeah, you were supposed
You want us to, Becky,
We're supposed to make sound. We're supposed to make sound effects?
Because it's like the old-timey radio shows where they had to have somebody clappity-clap to make it sound like a horse was coming by.
Exactly.
You know, when they had those...
Foley work? Foley work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that. No, Foley I thought comes afterwards. Just like a festive noise that launches us into.
I've done 5 already. Becky's.
I don't know. What's a festive noise?
Clippity clop. Clippity clop.
Maracas?
All right, and here we go. We'll go into our first clip. All right, here we are, going to do our top 5 movies of the year. This was a year that I think snuck up on me in that I ended up at first, I'm not sure. I was still reeling from The Last Jedi.
Because there's 3 good movies in the last month, and that's it. That's fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
It snuck up on everybody.
So, Becky, what were your top 5 movies of the year?
So, American Animals, because it was unlike anything I had ever seen. Black Klansman, because it was so relevant and poignant and smart, but, see it. We've talked about it a lot. Spider-Verse, again, unlike anything I had ever seen. Totally. Do you want me to go into more depth in this, or just
good.
List them off? Spider-Verse, because it was a really fresh take on animated films and on superhero films, which was, I think, very, very much needed. And love Simon, because the reason that one made it into my top 5 is because of watchability.
Because of the bleacher sound in the soundtrack?
No, yeah, well, the bleacher soundtrack, and because of watchability, I realized that I went back and I rewatched the movie. And I feel like I don't actually do that very often. I have to really love something to sit down and watch it again from beginning to end. And then the last one, but definitely the top of my list, is Free Solo, which is a documentary.
Not to be confused with Han Solo, which would be on Mom and Dad's list.
Right. Free Solo is a documentary about a rock climber who free solos the most dangerous, complicated
which means goes
wall,
without harness.
Which uses no support, no safety, no harness. And it's the story of his journey doing that. And the reason that makes it at the top of my list is because while all of my movies...
Because he didn't die? I mean, that should be good enough.
Spoiler alert.
Honestly...
is because it's real and it's a true story. And so while all of these movies have incredible aesthetics and creative choices...
Black Klansman is true, though.
Yeah, but it's fictionalized. And even American Animals, that's borders on
that is true.
Is still fictionalized. And Free Solo is this incredible story, and it's really happening. You are watching it, and it's not being reenacted. They're not faking anything. And so I think that kind of gives it an edge against, above all my other choices.
That sounds great. I can't wait to see that movie. Shai, if you're going to watch that movie on the whole idea that you're just waiting to see if he lives or dies, you have a problem. You have another thing coming.
No,
because
I just thought that's what they don't always. It could be 27 hours. Does he have to chew his arm off?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know if he has to choose something off, but like I feel like you can't go into that movie just hoping is he gonna die or is he gonna
I'm not hoping. I'm just wondering. It's like the one about the guy who walks in between the two buildings.
I guess so. But I
Kind
feel
of,
like these are
yeah.
historical things
Kind
that
of.
like you would have heard. No.
Well, I don't really follow the like rock climbing world, but that sounds like this is
I guess.
a really awesome movie. So that's
It does.
I would love
It
to
does.
see that type of movie on an IMAX.
Oh, very,
I'm
very
sure
much
it'd be
worth it.
amazing.
I saw it. Also, I saw it at the Dolby Labs Theater, which
Of course you
is
did.
really one of the most. I mean, it's probably the most cutting edge, high tech theaters you can go to, both in terms of picture and sound quality. It really is like in the world has to be one of the best, if not the best theaters. So I also feel like whenever you see a movie in a particular, the setting can affect it. So not only did I love it, I think it's an amazing film and story and totally beautiful. I did also see it in the
So maybe
perfect
don't
setting.
watch on an iPad, is what you're saying to people.
Yeah, but to be fair, I saw another movie there, fell asleep, and had to leave. So
That's fair. All
But
right.
you're saying like, if I watch this on an iPad, will I still enjoy it?
you will, but save it for the most
Like a
beautiful,
TV.
largest screen you can get it on. Yeah,
Does Darth Maul make a cameo?
obviously.
All right, Lily, your top 5 movies of the year.
Yes, sirree. Okay. Drum roll. So you sent, thankfully, a list of every movie released in 2018 because, like, reasonably, I go to Jose. I was like, so what movie did we like this year? And he just goes, The Revenant. He's been saying that for like 4 years. So I'm like, no, it's like a while ago now.
It's like
I'm
2
no,
years
he's
ago.
Like, he's like, do you think I remember any movies? He's like, are you out of your mind? Nobody does. I'm like, it's true. So I'm going down this list and I realized there's a lot of movies I do want to see, but in the very few I have seen, I'll give you the top 5. I realize I haven't seen that many. Okay, so Spider-Verse and Black Klansman for sure. And
I feel like
then
Spider-Verse and Black Klansman, those are on all three of our lists.
Yeah, and if those two are not like both nominated for Best Picture, I'm just the whole thing is garbage. Like that and Bohemian Rhapsody, those three should go up against each other.
Can an animated film be
It can.
nominated for Best Picture?
I guess
I think
it
it's
can,
happened
but
before.
doesn't it have to do with how they submit it also?
No,
Yes.
Best Picture is everybody.
No. It has to do
Oh.
with what you're asking to be in consideration for.
I guess so, because like a documentary doesn't get thrown in there. Anyways, okay, so those two, Bohemian Rhapsody is up there, but I also added Tag because I feel like
Cool.
I really liked that movie, and I feel like I haven't seen
An
many
underdog
movies
film.
this year, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen a movie that's like made me just so happy. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. Same thing with Love, Simon. It's that kind of thing. I'd watch Tag again for sure. Then I have A Quiet Place because I'm often forced, like under duress, to watch scary movies with my in-law family, and I watched A Quiet Place and loved it, and like was like rooting for the family, and it was like happily watching a scary
Are
movie.
you going to try to do a silent birth if you have another kid?
Oh God, no. Oh my God. She can't. In the end, she doesn't do it silent. Not to like spoilers, but then the like beast comes after her because she has to scream because she's
No,
giving
they
birth.
light the fireworks.
Firework because she has to scream. Like they know she's going to end up screaming, right? Because like that's impossible. Anyways, and I think that was 5. And I'm just going to give you a quick movies I wish I had seen and want to see. Love Gilda, about Gilda Radner. Won't You Be My Neighbor? Because I'm reading this list, you made me feel so bad. The Favorite, 8th Grade, Boy Erased, and Creed 2 are all movies I wish I had seen.
Oh shoot! 8th Grade totally should have been on my list. It can only be 5 movies.
We're going with top 5s here. The Favorite,
Yeah,
by the
all right,
way,
that's fine.
there has
I'm
never been a
sticking with
preview
what
of
I
a
have.
movie that has made me less want to see a movie than The Favorite.
I like that guy.
I don't think you will be able to handle 8th grade if we're
The Favorite, though, looks like outtakes from Downton Abbey.
Oh, I
Favorite
just really,
looks
I like the
terrifying.
lobster guy. The Yagos Lathimos or whatever his name is, the guy that made The Lobster.
Isn't that a movie Mom and Dad hated? Like, it's one of those movies
Oh,
that
yeah.
like Mom and
Jose,
Dad
you
still
can't
talk
make it up
about.
around
and
it.
like weirdly everyone blames me for having to watch it, but I've
I
never
loved it.
seen it.
Just because it's an artistic movie, Becky.
Yeah,
That's
like mom and dad,
that's your
mom and
lot
dad
in
have like
life.
called me and yelled at me about that movie. I'm like, guys, I've never even seen it.
Jose's like still in the like legal process of suing me for making him watch it.
So here's the thing, Becky.
2
I feel
hours of
like
his life back.
Beck, that's a huge honor. Someone sees an art movie and they blame you for having to see it. Like, for me, it's like Dad's still upset about the big hit. Okay, so my top 5, my number. So I'm actually going to give it. I'm going to give it a bit of an order here. I'm actually going to say Black Klansman was my absolute favorite movie of the year. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was part of this journey that I've been having in a relationship with with watching Spike Lee's films. And to me, I feel like I really want this to win Best Picture. I think the actors in it were amazing. I think John David Washington is like, it's only the tip of the iceberg, and of course Adam Driver. The two of them put it together with Spike Lee. Wow, I would watch a whole new generation of Spike Lee films just with that combination of 3 people, and I thought it was a really special, interesting movie. And its most interesting part is that it has and we talked about this before, it has a happier ending than your average Spike Lee movie. And then it
whops you over the head
with reality.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this but haven't heard our previous episodes, check out the Black Klansman True Stories, the True Hollywood, our True Stories app, because we do a whole thing on it.
There you go. And then Spider-Verse was my second favorite. Already saw that twice in the theater. It's probably one of the only movies I saw twice in the theater this year.
Hey, how did it go with the kids?
The kids loved it. I don't really know. The kids, it's so funny. We watched Brave the other day, and it scared the life out of the kids. And they walked out of it, we watched it in the house, and they asked us.
They walked out of the living room.
Well, they tried to. They said, "What's the lesson of this movie?" And I said, "I don't know. If you're mean to your mom, she turns into a bear. Be nice to mom." And Spider-Verse, going into it, it was kind of a special daddy-daughter go to the movies thing. Going into it, I had prepared them a little bit for the plot. I didn't remember the plot of Brave when we watched it. And they kind of knew what they were getting into, but I also think they were just so captivated by it, and they loved so much of the visuals and the characters. They each walked out with their different favorites. My younger one loved Gwen. My older child loved Spider-Ham. I think the introduction of Spider-Ham in particular in that last act or second half of the film kind of alleviates a certain level of scariness that I think could be happening there. Also, there were some really interesting things that they did, like when Kingpin kills the Prowler, they actually don't show you on screen. They don't exactly show you the death on screen. Like, they show the shot and they show him fall, but it's not like bloody. And I think those little details allowed there to be some abstraction away from the more harsher things that happen in the movie. And in general, I had prepared them for Hobo Spider-Man, Janky Hobo Spider-Man, and they were really excited. They were really excited to see that, and they really thought
is it weird that I have like a crush on him? Is that weird?
Why, he's like the dad bod of Spider-Man.
He's very lovable.
He was
very
unintimidating. And I'll just add,
he's an unintimidating superhero.
Did you guys also notice that he's Jewish?
In the
Janky Hobo Spider-Man?
Yeah.
He's Jewish in the movie, not Jake Johnson.
How is he Jewish in the movie?
When they show his whole life and they show his wedding to Mary Jane, they show him stepping on a glass.
On a glass.
So unless Mary Jane is the Jewish one.
I don't remember that.
I think
they showed him stepping on a glass, and I always thought it was just like being very meta. Like, it's I don't know, because like people acknowledging that
that's
it's
not what. I don't think that's meta.
That it's. Well, it's acknowledging. To me, it's acknowledging that it's not real.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Like acknowledging that Stan Lee is Jewish and he helped create.
Maybe, but I just feel like it took me out of it.
I just think it's an easy symbol. It's an easy symbol of weddings.
Maybe.
But it's also like, it's a very specific.
I don't know.
Specific
all I can say is
tradition.
That if that movie
maybe
does
Peter Parker is like, if they're so different.
That'd be
so
cool.
Many verses.
Also, if Peter Parker does something to make Jewish guys with dad bods, I'm very supportive. So there was that.
Fair enough.
Bohemian Rhapsody, because it was a music based film that felt like an action movie. It's the movie that I've wanted to rewatch most that I haven't been able to. Like, Spider-Verse was in the theater when I went back to see it. Bohemian Rhapsody, if I had A-list then, I would have gone back and watched it. And I loved it. And I still, the moment for me that is like, it's a strange moment to be my biggest moment, but it's when they're doing Live Aid, and I'm thinking to myself, they haven't done Radio Gaga yet. And then they go in and they do all of Radio Gaga. And I was like, yes! I was cheering. Then Super Troopers 2, because A, it delivered on its promise 18 years in the making, and it was hilarious. But then we all watched it together, and it was hilarious for you guys too, and that made it really special.
Yeah, I cannot go into like the dairy section of a grocery store anymore without going creme fraiche.
Creme fraiche. Creme fraiche.
I literally was standing in Whole Foods in front of the dairy section, picking some things out, and I saw a jar of creme fraiche, and I said out loud, creme fraiche.
And I also, there's another moment that sticks out to me, and it is when Rob Lowe is in the brothel and he's doing the boxing move. Very, very funny. And then I gotta go with Creed 2 because I was really excited for it. It was so much fun. It was super rewarding, and I rewatched Rocky 4 with Josh last weekend. And Creed 2 does something amazing. Not only is it great, but it makes Rocky 4 an even better movie, because the things in Rocky 4 that come back to roost in Creed 2 become much more significant. And I read an article that I shared with you guys that said that Rocky 4 is kind of the most cartoony of the Rocky movies, and now it is much more significant because you see this epilogue that's very complex. And so that is my 5th top movie of the year. And with that, we'll end this segment.
Hold on. Can I just add a little tidbit?
Sure.
So, co-director of the movie, Rodney Rothman, said that he thinks that he's Jewish, and that it could be because he grew up in the same neighborhood that supposedly Peter Parker grew up in, and he's Jewish, so it could be that he's projecting, he said, but he also said it could be that MJ's Jewish and that Peter converted. Huh. Or that it's another, tradition from another.
I don't know about Mary Jane being Jewish.
And he says it also could be, maybe it's, who knows, maybe stepping on a glass is a tradition in other types of religions. But he's like, I don't know, what else could it be?
Is this is this the Rodney? Is this the Rodney that you were friends with in college? The one with the dark past?
This is not that Rodney. This is who's a lovely person, has no dark past. This is the co-director of the movie. And yeah, I just think that's really cute that they added that in.
All right, and with that, we'll wrap up our top 5 movies of the year. And with that, Josh, we called and asked you, we've asked you to give us your top 5 big complaints for this past year. What are your top 5 pop culture complaints for 2018?
All right. Well, since you've already called me long-winded in the preamble before we started recording, I should let you know that I've come up with 8 things that annoy me. And you guys can pick them apart as you wish. I'm sure some of you may agree with, some of them you may not. So I'm going to start with. Should I just jump in?
Yeah, just jump in. Give us your first one. I'm going to start with
the bullshit concept of fall finales. Seriously, we need I need fall finales like a hole in the head. You need 2 cliffhangers a year, so I come back 7 weeks later to try to remember. Nobody watches shows anyways without binging them, so who cares about the fall finale?
So basically you're watching a show all the way through, and there's just 3 cliffhangers.
Yeah.
You just go on to the next episode.
Except we all binge the shows anyways, so really?
I'm trying to think that they're trying to make it so that these long 22-episode seasons are actually mini-seasons in themselves, but you're right, it just makes everything feel longer.
Yeah, it's like when a movie goes to the 2-hour and 15-minute mark. Couldn't they have cut it off at 1 hour and 59? It's the same
Josh,
idea.
What's the most annoying fall finale you've had this year?
We're doing follow-up
here's the
questions now to these quickly?
I can't do a follow-up question on this because I boycott any show that has a fall finale. But it will dovetail nicely into the next thing that annoys me, which is This Is Us, because it's basically Party of Five with the guy from Heroes. Can we just bring back Jennifer Love Hewitt? And they killed the entire slow cooker business. Is that really necessary?
Why'd they kill the slow cooker?
Because he kills the dad. Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. The dad dies from a slow cooker fire, and it literally killed that entire business.
Huh.
And all I want is for the dad, who is a good character, but it's like every show, everyone cries at every show. It's like what Party of Five was in the 90s. It just annoys me.
I agree.
All right, so This Is Us. What's next on your list?
And also, I like the guy from This Is Us and the dad, but I liked him better in the first season of Heroes before that show turned to trash, and then they tried to revive it, and it was still trash. So it's another complaint.
Okay, that's a bonus complaint. So what's your
bonus complaint? There's okay. The next bonus complaint I have is that show where they did the commercial where the doctor's like, if you don't want to be doctors again, don't be here. Let's be doctors again. Like that show, I immediately hated from that preview.
Wait, is that show called Let's Be Doctors Again?
What's that show called? Doctors?
Do you guys know he's like in this auditorium with all the doctors, and he's like, basically, if I'm reading the underlying principle, it's like the insurance companies are killing medicine. Let's be doctors again.
It's just a commercial, so you're mad about the commercial?
Well, no, I refuse to watch the show, but the premise of the TV show. The premise of the show is like doctors really being doctors that are unencumbered by, I guess, the financial aspects of being a doctor in insurance. But I didn't like that.
Malpractice?
Something like that, yes, where you're afraid of like malpractice lawsuits. So I did not like that.
Okay, all right. So
I'm going to extend that into any show that features the name Chicago or Boston.
Agreed. You have
and
our
Fire or Med.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. You could literally make a show called Boston, Chicago, Med, and people would watch it because it's like, ooh, two cities that we don't know so well and we believe have firemen and doctors.
Well played. All right, what's next on your list? We're in full agreement except for my mom who watches all
of them and can tell you how they all cross over.
In fact, there's probably some Funny or Die skit that's like Chicago doctor, fireman, policeman, medical servant. That's what it's called. And then if you throw some time traveling wives in it, you guys would all watch it, I'm sure.
What if Chicago isn't a real city and it's like a Truman Show city, but we don't know? You know what I mean? What if all of Chicago is just a giant movie studio?
Just with like Tom Selleck running it.
Yeah, he's like the mayor, and then
so they think it's real.
It could, and also I would say, has there ever been a show since Chicago Hope that has featured the name Chicago that has been as good? They should just stop.
No. Potemkin, and not only that, specifically the Mandy Patinkin era of Chicago Hope, which has a close second, which is the Peter Berg era, which followed, and Mark Harmon era, which followed right after.
All right.
Well, that was a deep pull from the 90s. All right. So is one of your pet peeves or one of your complaints that Chicago Hope is not still on the air?
Don't worry.
Also that, but I do miss Mandy Patinkin. I appreciated him in Homeland. But I don't know what happened to that show because nobody cares about Homeland anymore. Okay, I've got a whole bunch more. I'm sorry, I have so many complaints. All right, I'm going to try to go fast here.
Run them down. We'll do them all in one shot.
Okay, here we go. Rapid fire. I'm super annoyed at all the people. Can I swear on this show?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, my child's sitting next to me, but he's playing on an iPhone. I'm super annoyed at all the people in the world who are assholes. Okay, all the people in the world who are assholes that have made me now feel guilty for enjoying anything that they do. Specifically, Louis C.K., Bill Cosby, Kanye West, Mel Gibson. You just named the list of all the people who, if I do watch anything and appreciate it, what's his name? What's his name from that movie that you guys talk about? James, what was it? God, Seth
the
Rogen's
one from
friend.
Ferris Bueller? James Franco.
Yeah, James Franco. Like all these people who I genuinely appreciate what they do, and now if I listen to them, I feel guilty. Or I have a rule where I can only listen to like pre-asshole, Louis C.K. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I'm really annoyed at all of them.
You're still working that through. All right, what else you got?
I'm still working that through. I'm annoyed that Sacha Baron Cohen came back with Who is America, and it was awful. I'm just super annoyed about that. I wish he could have if he was going to do that, I wish he could have just left it at Borat and his original show. That
original show is great. I just rewatched it, actually. The original show. That's terrific.
The original show is amazing. All right. I'm annoyed that Marvel can make such amazing movies yet horrible TV shows that all get canceled. Yet the CW and DC can make good TV shows, but pretty much horrible movies, although I've heard Aquaman is somewhat interesting. Unclear.
I'm very excited for Shazam. That's going to be awesome.
That's just because you're partial to Zachary Levi. But anyways.
Absolutely.
He's the Rachel Bilson of men, for Shy.
He's my Rachel Bilson.
All right. And the pièce de résistance, and I feel like I came on the podcast and called this a long time ago, is if you wrapped all of my annoyance into one, it would be the movie Solo. Although,
right place.
Yeah, although...
Another time.
To be discussed another time, although I will say that if it like kicked someone in the head and made them rethink what they're doing with all the Star Wars movies, then maybe it was a good thing. But that movie's got to be one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
All right.
We'll have to have you back on the episode so Shy can go deep.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to need to talk about Solo for the next year. Well, Josh, thank you as our official complaints correspondent for weighing in this special New Year's episode. We will talk to you soon and have you on the show soon. Catch you later.
So many complaints. Bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
We interrupt this snazzy transition music to introduce our next guest, Lanz, one of my two amazing co-hosts of the Gold Nerds podcast. The other co-host is, of course, Ash. I forgot to introduce her when we did the interview, and so this is acting as her introduction. In addition to being awesome, she is a world-renowned expert on ships, as the young hip people call them, or relationships, as in the relationships between characters on shows. So she's going to weigh in now with her top 5 ships of the year. Enjoy.
And so we figured you would be great to give us your top 5 moments in ships for the year.
Okay, I researched this. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, hit it, and then I'll just respond.
Okay.
We'll banter.
Okay. First, I want to say hi to Lily and Becky. Sorry. But I need to say hi to my girls. What's up, ladies? Hope you enjoyed Magic Mike.
They had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, so top moments. I don't know. Are other people ranking them? Because that's really hard.
You don't have to rank. You can just say 5 things. It doesn't have to be ranked. Some people ranked, some people didn't.
Okay. Because they'll all move every second if I think about them too hard. But I guess, I don't know. I don't want to disrespect any of the ships by starting with 5.
No, don't worry. You're not disrespecting a ship. You just hit it.
All right. Jack and Rebecca. Yeah, Jack and Rebecca from This Is Us. They did a flashback episode this year where they're traveling across the country and they had sex for the first time, so that was real sweet.
Was there still crying in that episode? Because I feel like it's not a This Is Us episode without people weeping.
Yeah, I cried at the end, but it wasn't sad tears. It was just a beautiful moment. They're just such a beautiful couple. Oh God, I love them so much. And then I wanted to shout out to Dawn and Hank from DC Titans when they got together for the first time. And we saw, how far into it are you? Did you finish the season?
Wait, Dawn and Hank, is that Hawk and Dove?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'm almost done the first season.
When they showed his ass and stuff, his bare ass. That was really hot. Yeah, love them. And then I'll go with, I got a shout out to Brina from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. There's so many moments from season 1 for Harvey and Sabrina, but I'm going to go with There's No Flying Without You, Sabrina, because that's just peak Harvey. So they get
and what's I gotta ask?
my
what's your
Innocence Award.
What's your prognosis for season 2? Are they getting back together?
I don't know. They definitely have some sexy times though, based on a trailer I saw. But they also cut together. She kisses Nick Scratch. Hate that guy. But I don't know if he'll get.
He's a dirtbag. My
I hate
sister
him.
is all about him, though.
I
Lily,
don't know.
speak on Lily's
It's
behalf.
not the type of bad boy I want for her. Like, we all like the bad boys, but not like. I can do like a murderer or something like they do on Vampire Diaries, but I don't know,
like a Jax Teller.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I don't like this guy. He gives me bad vibes, but
He's a dirtbag. He's an opportunist. He kind of makes me think of Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. I don't know if you watch that.
I actually don't watch that show, but
he's a schemer.
Yeah, he's totally a schemer, but I don't know if Brina's gonna get back together, but they'll definitely have like hookup moments, I feel like. So it's better than nothing, I'd say. And then I guess 2 would be my couple Varchi when Veronica from Riverdale, when Veronica comes into that prison to see Archie. And he's like, but it doesn't matter because we'll still have sex.
or when she goes, that whole episode is a shit moment. When she goes, I'd recognize those abs anywhere. And I'm sitting there watching saying, I'd recognize those abs anywhere.
Who wouldn't? I mean, curse those broad shoulders, am I right?
Oh, yeah. It's now officially a meme. At least between you, me, and Becky.
Works. And then, is that 5?
That's 4. That's 4.
All right, I left a couple out, but they're not my top, so I can't put them. But my number 1 is Blaney from Goldberg's getting engaged. Barry and Laney.
Oh yeah,
getting engaged.
That's beautiful, and that remains contained in 2018. So whatever happens in 2019, 2018 ended with Blaney together, and I think
true. Thank you, Shai, for making me.
And it's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you be our official ship correspondent, was because I wanted, no matter what happens going forward, I wanted you to be able to like crystallize a moment where you got to soak up how great they were. And,
true.
And I'll say I've been watching a lot of the early episodes with the kids, particularly Super Hanukkah, aka Christmas Story.
I love that episode.
And the episode Living on a Prayer, where she first kisses Barry, and then the Daryl Dawkins dance when she admits that she wants to be with Barry for the first time and they're secretly hooking up. And it is a magical relationship. The love is so like deep and intense. I don't know if it lasts forever, but we can say in 2018, 1980 something gave us great Blaney moments.
Totally. Thank you, Shai. It makes me feel so much better.
And with that,
this bleak future.
I will wish you a huge thanks and a happy new year from Lily, Becky, and I. And thank you for being part of our New Year's special.
Well, happy New Year.
And we will have you back for a full episode soon, for sure.
Thank you, Shai. I love you guys. Love you. Love Lil. Love Becky. Love your kids. I hope you guys have a great holiday. Mazel tov.
Thank you. We love you too. You're amazing. Talk soon.
All right,
you're coming on the next Vegas vacation.
Oh, yes. I'm in.
All right, here we are now, the holiday special. Top 5 episodes of a show you saw this year. Now, because no one really knows what year shows are on anymore because we all binge watch them at different times, this can be just any show you watched this past year. It can be a show from 10 years ago, but if you picked it up this year, I want to know what the best episodes you guys saw this year were. Lily, what were your best episodes?
I made it through a 12-hour flight from San Francisco to Barcelona with a 2-year-old due to the wonderful and marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So the best these aren't in any particular order, but an episode I truly loved was episode 5 of season 2, Midnight at the Concord. I won't say anything else because there's like a spoiler in that episode for those who haven't seen it yet, but it's a great episode.
Is it
and a
that
great
Midge
season.
turns out to be a good parent?
No, she's a terrible parent.
Terrible parent.
Yeah,
she is a terrible.
They keep that going real strong. There's at one point where she takes her kid to the park in this season, but then she pretends like she doesn't know him. So I was just sort of like, I was like, oh, look, she's actually taking her kid to the park, but then he's like, she literally pretends like he's not her kid. So that's not nice. She's the worst in terms of parenting, but really great second season on that show. And episode 5, loved it. Then the Money Heist episode, which I actually tried to go back and figure out which one it exactly is, but because they all kind of blend together and the description of them is terrible of each episode on Netflix, it makes no sense, that I just going to say the one where Tokyo rides a motorcycle up the steps. So if you haven't seen Money Heist, go watch it now. And that, I was like an epic moment of television for me where I jumped on the couch.
That's awesome.
Then I have Odd Mom Out, which I love that show. If you guys have seen Odd Mom Out and haven't seen it, please watch it. It's on Bravo, but you can get it on iTunes and probably other device streaming services in the United States. I don't know. I just bought it because I was gifted the first season and adore that show so much. And then I went ahead and bought the second one because I love it so much. And the season finale is amazing. Also, the pilot of The Letdown was like life-altering to me. I saw that like many months ago, kind of probably closer to the new year of 2018, and that show's just brilliant. And the pilot, like, whoa. And then I don't want to like steal your guys' thunder, so there's 2 others that I have on there, even though you only said 5, but I only saw them because you guys told me to watch them. So I'll let you go ahead.
Okay.
But I in advance, I concur.
All right, Becky. Hit it.
Okay, I feel like now that I'm a little bit more clear on the instructions, I initially did not put a Chuck episode in because I was trying to think of things that have come out in the last year. But can I put a Chuck episode in?
Oh, absolutely, Yeah.
but
I mean,
okay.
the fact that you were able to do all shows from this year, I give you mad respect because because I couldn't remember the years of the shows that I watched.
Okay, yeah, so,
Lily, I don't know when Money Heist was created. No one knows when Money Heist
created and when it was released are 2 different things. It was released this year.
Maybe. It could have been sitting in the Netflix archives for years and nobody knew.
It's true.
I mean,
I actually rewatched this 2 nights ago, and it's the pilot of Mrs. Maisel.
Okay, go ahead.
What? I can't hear you. Lil?
I'm not talking.
Oh, you were breaking up as if you were trying to say something. So I rewatched the pilot of Mrs. Maisel, and again, like I've said this before, watchability. There are not a lot of things I am willing to watch twice, and I've seen that pilot. I want to say for sure 3 times, and every time it holds up. So the pilot of Mrs. Maisel, then an I Told You show that was bestowed upon me. 3, 2, 1, you done. Nailed it. Holiday with guest judge Jason Mantzoukas.
Amazing.
So funny.
Such a great
show. I napped through the whole thing and laughed at the same time.
It was amazing. I just want anything Mantzoukas, man.
He's great.
I got him in the twinning thing where you take a picture of yourself and the website picks you. Actually, Josh and I were doing it just as an aside. I got him, and I forget who else I got, but I got like 3 different ones, and they were all pretty cool. Josh just kept getting Saul Rubinek.
What?
Yeah, Josh kept doing it, and he kept getting Saul Rubinek over and over and over again.
That's hilarious.
Also,
I love when celebrities do it, and then they get themselves, but it's not 100%.
Guys, you always interrupt my lists.
Okay, keep going.
I'm really, I feel like I'm pretty respectful when you guys are giving your list.
We're giving you so much respect because nailed it. Like that's like a pop culture moment for this whole family, Becky.
It's a moment. Another one, which is, and I know, Shai, this is going to appear on your list, but truly one of the greatest episodes of this year of all time in the history of television, Midnight Club Riverdale Season 3.
Absolutely bananas.
It's incredible. It's all of the characters that we follow. There's like this flashback episode to when their parents were teenagers, and every character plays their parent as a teen, and it's so bananas and so well done, and I think like really, really well acted. I was impressed with their acting in it.
Can you
they all had to beat each
just watch? I don't mean to interrupt, but Can you just watch that episode?
I mean, I'd
Or you
like
need
to,
to have
I'd
seen
like
the
to
whole
see
show?
you watch that episode, Lily, and then ask us questions because you won't really understand.
Won't understand, and you also won't understand why it's so great. You have to spend time with the characters and with their parents and really get to know them in order for that episode to translate into its greatness.
But
It's like you're reaching, I mean,
But I want to. I would accept Lily watching it, then asking, and then trying to tell us what the show is about.
yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that.
Because that episode is crazy.
And then, it's kind of funny. This whole year, I feel like the first 4 or 5 months of the year when I was on maternity leave, I somehow blocked out everything that I watched. But the truth is, Queer Eye season 2 or Queer Eye came out this year, guys, and that was a huge deal. We talked about that so many times. And so the episode, season 2, episode 2, Decent Proposal, where the schlubby guy who's obsessed with film proposes to his girlfriend. I sobbed during that episode. That's a great
season 1
episode.
also came out this year.
Yeah, they both came out this year.
Well, season 1, episode 1 is one of the best things I've ever seen.
with Tom. Yeah, that's the best episode. You Can't Fix Ugly. That's the best episode.
But I like that you came back to that show and reminded us that was a big part of our year. That's a really
And then I was going to do a Grey's episode, but now that I realize I can do any show of any time as long as I've seen it in the last year, I'm going to table Grey's because I only put
that was a great episode.
There's a great episode, but it's only for one scene. Whereas I'm going to go with Chuck, the Thailand episode, where Sarah saved Chuck in Thailand.
No spoilers.
Season 4, episode 9 is really one of the best episodes.
I cry every time I watch that episode.
It's so good, and I gotta tell you, Chuck, Zachary Levi is my TV boyfriend. I am listen, it's not that I don't love Maisel. I love Maisel, but I am so all in on this season because he's in it.
Oh, I haven't gotten to the part with him yet.
It's probably a
just
major
so I
factor.
could watch an ep with him in it because I was so excited.
He is one of those actors where I will watch, also because he seems like one of the most fundamentally decent humans. If you ever follow him on Twitter or listen to his podcast or anything like that, he just seems like the nicest person. But I will watch random stuff just if I know he's in it. He's in, Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel. He's in that one. It's definitely my favorite of the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies.
When is Shazam coming
out? Soon, in a couple months, I think. I'm very excited for that.
Counting down the days. All right, so that is my list of top 5 episodes of the year. And the good thing is that I feel like, or at least with Nailed It and Queer Eye, you don't have to watch the whole season to get it. You could just put on those as one-off episodes and enjoy them for what they are.
That's awesome. So my top 5, I'll go with the Midnight Club from Riverdale, just like Becky. I'll zero in on a couple of absolutely awesomely crazy things. First of all, during the episode, there is a random, Proto Josie and the Pussycats jam session where they play the song Dream Warriors from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. That's the song in that, and it's this crazy music montage where they're playing the song, and I remember, and I thought that was just amazing because, and the Riverdale After Dark podcast already talked about this. They talked about how you're not really sure, is this the 80s, is this the 90s, who cares, who knows? Totally nuts. And there's this one split-second moment where Madeline Patch, who plays Cheryl freaking Blossom, she's dancing like a goobery nerd in that one split second that I feel like became an iconic meme of the show. So that was really amazing. The Hershey Park episode of The Goldbergs, because it has maybe one of the greatest scenes in the history of television, which is Wendy McClendon-Covey and Sean Gambroni riding a roller coaster together as they pass out, as they're arguing with each other, but they pass out from fear.
Isn't that what happened to you in Vegas on the New York roller coaster?
That almost happened to me. That was one of the best roller coasters I've ever been on. It was terrifying. The episode of Karate Kid, of Cobra Kai, where you see Karate Kid Part 1 from Johnny's perspective, to me, that was, not only was it really well done, it's something that people have talked about for a long time in pop culture, and it affirms that as canon, that there was more to the story of Johnny, and it's something that people had always kind of joked about, but now it's official. I gotta go with our buddy Mike Roberts and Dallas and Robo, the episode I, Robo, where Robo is trying to give sentience to other other sentience to other mechanical objects and trying to make them turn alive, and every time he turns them alive something terrible happens, is hilarious to me. And then I'll go with an old show that I've been watching, introduced to by many of our good friends like Sana, the Series Freak 12, and Ash, also known as the Improvinator or Comedy Girl, and of course Lanz is the middle. And the middle episode of Mother's Day to me was the moment that clicked, and I said,
it stressed me out so much.
I love the show, but now I'm deep into the 4th season of the show, and the show is masterful. So I really, really, really love that. So, all right, there are our top 5 episodes of shows we watched this year.
Edgy.
Hello there.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're doing great.
We're barely surviving Vegas.
Yeah, this family was not made for Las Vegas.
I will give you the rundown.
I'll explain this. So thank you for doing this. We are gathering some of our guests from the year to do quick 5-minute hits with us, no more than 5 minutes, on a top 5 of the year. And you being the huge superhero fan that you are, and the fact that I think we talked basically the most one can ever talk about Shrek on your episode, we would like to know your top 5 superhero moments of this past year from pop culture. And with that, I turn it over to you, Edgy. As you go down the list, we will pepper in some reactions. So your 5 minutes starts now.
Okay. First, Shrek is a superhero movie, so I don't appreciate the fact that I can't reference it. All right, that was worth the time. All right. No, I'm not sure about the order, but one of my favorites was in Avengers Infinity War, I believe. It was the Drax thinking he was invisible. Train themselves to stay so still that I was on the floor.
That is a very funny moment.
That's a great moment.
That's a great moment.
All right, so that's one. Second is because I dream I can do this every day. It's the snap in Avengers also.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is iconic. I think that's going to be with moviegoers. Yeah, when Thanos snaps and half the people in the universe disappear. Yeah. I feel like that Marvel managed to make an iconic moment there.
And it'll keep going around another
I like how I had no idea what we were talking about, and everyone else is like, it's the iconic moment of the year. Right. Great.
Come on, Becky. You're killing us.
Yeah.
Another one is, I guess the next ones are in Black Panther. I'd say the hi auntie line. Killmonger. Just because it's amazing the way he says it. There's the other Killmonger line, the what's up, when T'Challa is walking up to him and challenging him, and he's super nonchalant and very Americanized black when he says that. It fit really well for such a random phrase. And then my last, or probably the most favorite of all of them, is the scene where M'Baku starts barking at Martin Freeman, or whatever his name is. And he's like...
Yeah, Martin Freeman, who knows what the character's name is? I mean, that guy was as useless as they come.
Yeah, the guy from Sherlock. So he starts, right when he starts barking at him for speaking, and says he's going to feed him to the dogs, and then laughs because his dogs are vegetarian, and he cracks himself up, and I just died.
So you had 2 superhero moments and then 3 from Black Panther, which I think is from
two Avengers
and 3 from Black Panther, where all of your...
Which I feel like says a lot about the superhero
because everyone
movies.
dies in the other superhero movies.
Well,
Avengers is the one where everyone
dies. Die.
Right, so obviously the best moments are going to be from Black Panther, not that other one.
But the other 2 that Edgy had.
But not 5 from the other. I was thinking it makes sense that Black Panther outweighs.
Also, I think it just goes to show
War.
that it was basically there were 2 superhero movies this year, even though there was 20.
Except Under the Wire as Spider-Man. I don't know if you've seen that, Edgy.
I haven't seen it.
Every moment from that movie tops every superhero movie of 2018, even Black Panther.
And Lily doesn't even know what happened in it. Lily doesn't even understand what happened in it.
Edgy, you need to see that movie, and I think it will knock Black Panther out of your top spot.
No.
No, you don't think?
Not for Edgy.
Oh, man.
So all right, so call it right now. This is your final question. Does Black Panther win Best Picture this year?
No, because people suck. But yes, it should.
In your heart.
In your heart.
In Edgy's heart.
In my heart, yes.
I'm with you. I don't think it's just about whatever is technically good. Although I think it's a technically good movie. It's about things that are bigger than even movies. And to me, Black Panther is a great movie, and it's deserving because it's bigger than just being a movie.
I'll just say I lost all faith, whatever little faith I had in the is it the Academy people, or I don't know what the award is anymore.
It's the Academy.
When they gave the award to the I think it's The Color of Water. That movie was crap.
Shape of Water.
Right.
Shape of Water. 50 Shades of Water.
50 Shades of Pescado. 50 Shades of Fish was what my brother-in-law said it after I made him go see it.
Worst movie.
I love
movie is terrible.
I love that movie. All right. Edgy, thank you so much. Our official superhero correspondent, thank you for helping us with our New Year's special. Be well, man. Take care.
Happy
Bye-bye.
New Year.
We are recording Cousin Vanessa.
Cousin Vanessa.
The legend. How are you?
I miss you so much.
I miss you so much. I can't wait. I get to see you tomorrow, right? You're just going to come over?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well,
yes, my mom just declared she was coming to your house on New Year's Eve, but I don't even know if to invite
it's
her.
not a party until Susie gets there, but I have an understanding that the party needs to be done by 7 o'clock.
Dinner is at 5, and everyone's going to bed at 7:30.
So, cousin Vanessa, you are part of our I will not be there in person, so we will continue our streak of 25 years of not hanging out in person.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Still being very close. So you're participating in our New Year's special. We're going to ask you to do 5 minutes of a top 5 item, and the 5 minute and the top 5 we're going to ask you for is what are your top 5 Outlander moments of the year, because I know how important Outlander is to my sisters and librarians everywhere.
It's so good this. Okay, well, it's so good this season.
It's so good this season, and last season was so good.
So
it is.
Vanessa.
And yeah, so I'll be real quick, and to be honest, I started freaking out when Becky asked me to do this because I have really, my short-term memory, something happened to it.
You had 2 babies. It's called, you had 1 baby and then you had a second baby.
Exactly. And let me
Side effect of baby,
my second baby is turning 1 tomorrow, and when I first started watching Outlander was like this, he was a couple weeks old, and Outlander was like what I watched all the time, and then I went, to Game of Thrones, but so it's kind of like my 1-year Outlander anniversary anyway.
It's your Outlandiversary, or your Bairniversary. Ooh, look at me dropping the Bairns.
So I went to, so after Becky told me this, I went to Vulture, it's called. Have you been to that website? And they had this whole recap of every single episode of the season.
You've also discovered the internet. Happy for you.
Say that again?
I said you've also discovered the internet.
I did.
They recap stuff on the internet.
Good. Yeah, Google. Beautiful thing. In any case, so it reminded me from past seasons, because I'm focusing just on season 4, but one moment from, I think it was season 1 or 2, that just was like so ridiculous, but it was funny to me at the time, was when Jenny was milking herself after giving birth.
Yes.
Oh my God.
She gave birth, and then a day later goes to ride a horse.
A horse.
Okay, not only,
yes.
Yeah, she's riding a horse 2 days after she gives birth.
And then milks herself.
Yeah, and they
she
make
basically
but it's
like punks in the middle of the forest.
Right, they make it sound like she's coming upon some danger, and she has to hop off her horse really quick, and then Claire rushes over, and she's all worried, and it turns out she's just like engorged and had
she's not a surgeon yet.
Had to relieve herself. So
but basically, Jenny had to do what how many of us have had to do in the bathroom, like multiple times.
So once again, Outlander inserts itself into history. The Outlanders invented breast pumps.
Yes,
I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so your top. So that was your 1, or was that 5 moments in one?
No, I guess that was 5 moments in one. let's go to season 4, okay?
Season
Let's
4
fast
top moments. She
forward.
was just giving a shout out to a special earlier season moment.
Oh,
okay,
this is
Joy?
previous years. Okay.
Now she's
Yeah,
giving
that
a
was
season
previous.
4 moment.
Sorry, I'm taking so long. None of the moments I picked, except for the famous bathtub scene, were particularly they just were suspenseful, and that's why I picked them. I was thinking, are these the top 5? Like, what makes them the top 5? But I guess I was sitting in suspense.
I love how serious you're taking this. Because Becky and I are 100% on board.
Yeah.
Shai has thrown us overboard while we're on.
Let's just say I have, if our watching of the show was the boat that they get attacked on after their 5 minutes of happiness in the first episode, I am the rings being thrown up out of Claire's mouth as she cries like a baby.
Sure.
Okay.
That's got to be a top 5 moment.
Just let her
That is. And I think one of my other moments that I brought up was the guy who robbed him, Bonnet, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Then later, he's the freaking evil sea captain who's tossing coins to decide people's fates, basically.
He's a psychopath. He's a villain of the season.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's a good
and
villain.
Roger,
super creepy.
Roger, the time-traveling historian now, is up in the mix. It's really interesting how he's become chasing after Brianna back in time. So one of my moments was the evil sea captain tossing coins for deciding Roger's fate. Okay, here's another big one. When Roger proposed to Brianna and she shuts him down, I was just so
yes, that's a big moment.
shocked. That was a big moment. So I'm sort of going out of order, but girl, were you shocked when Myrta and Jamie first see each other again?
I was crying. I was crying.
It was amazing.
I was crying when they reunited. I was like,
wait, Jamie and who?
Myrta. Not from Lethal Weapon.
From season 1, Myrta, who is with Claire. It's like their
that right-hand man.
Yeah, he's the only one that knows that Claire is a time traveler.
Oh, yeah.
He's they reunite in this season. They thought he was dead.
It's a season and a half. They haven't. They assume he's dead.
That's my favorite scene in the whole show now.
Well,
all right.
The best part about it is that Myrta, the whole previous season, was Jamie's lackey, sort of following him around, but now Myrta is a regulator and is doing his own thing. And he's actually sorry.
The British. Yeah. The Carolinas. They're in North Carolina. It's a great season.
It's pretty cool.
All right. I'm
hoping your next one is mine because there is a one top moment of this show so far and you have not said it.
Well, she hasn't seen this most recent episode.
No, it's not from that. Okay.
Yeah, no spoilers. I'm about to sit down and watch that one tonight so I can be ready for tomorrow.
You gotta be ready for tomorrow for the watch party, the viewing party.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
what's your last one?
Yeah. Well, the last one was just when Jamie gave Claire the ring from his mother's melted candlestick.
Oh, that was very romantic.
I thought that was very sweet.
That is very sweet. But
what about when Lord Grey shows up?
Oh, that's not what I was talking
about.
With his kid, and he sees his kid for the first time in a decade.
Yep. And that's the episode about
And hello, Vanessa, what about when Bree goes back in time?
I know. There's just too many. And then she's with Leary. She's staying in Leary's house.
I know. Okay? That's insane. She tried to murder her mother. What? Oh my god.
Also, Brianna's a bit of a dummy. She's really got to get her wits about her. She has no street smart.
Or the aunt or.
Leary is the one who sends Claire to the witch trial in season 1.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, she really keeps showing up in her life.
She loves Brianna. Oh, can I just say, it really irked me that she only brought one peanut butter and jelly sandwich with her.
Me too. I texted I texted both of you. I was like, this is not okay.
They're not very practical. They buy each other apothecary boxes, but they don't have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
This was a fantastic recap of our top 5 to 15 Outlander moments, and we'll see you tomorrow for a viewing party.
And now for a special lightning round edition of Buy, Rent, Meh, or Bleh. We're gonna a little bit of a tribute there to Shauna Hagen, because I think when you're doing something as big as a whole year's worth of movies, you got to include the bleh. But we're gonna give some constraints, and those constraints are this: we're gonna look at the top worldwide grossing movies this year. You have Avengers: Infinity War with over $2 billion, Black Panther with $1.3 billion, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom with $1.3 billion, and The Incredibles 2 $1.2 billion. Buy, rent, meh, or bleh. Go, Becky.
Avengers: Infinity War, rent, Black Panther, buy, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, didn't see it, don't care, that's a big meh. Incredibles 2, buy, out of loyalty, I liked it.
Okay, but what if you had to choose?
Oh, wait, what
buy, rent, meh, or bleh. You have 4 categories.
Sorry.
I mean, Lily will ignore the rules anyway, but you can...
sorry, I misunderstood. I thought, each... Okay, sorry. I don't know why I totally misunderstood how we were playing that. Can we just start over?
No. Just
okay.
You were on the right track.
Okay. Byron Man Black. Okay, easy. I'm in a bleh Fallen Kingdom. I didn't see it, and honestly, I don't care about seeing it.
It was truly terrible. It was truly one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Oh God, I have to buy, rent, meh these guys. Okay, I'm gonna meh Avengers: Infinity War. Rent Black Panther, buy Incredibles 2. I feel like I got that wrong, but whatever.
That's a tough
wrong answer.
This is supposed to be tough. I respect the answer. I think, are we all bleh on Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Lily. So what do you?
And then meh Avengers: Infinity War, because again, if it does that many words in the title and I don't understand it. And everybody dies, so that gets a meh. And then I'm gonna rent Incredibles 2 because I watched it on the plane, in my 12-hour journey, and it was good, but for a renter, and I'll see it once. I don't need to see it again. And then I'm going to buy Black Panther. Because duh.
So I will. I think I'm with you on Black Panther. It was awesome. I'm going to rent Avengers: Infinity War because when I saw it the second time with you guys, it actually had a real rewatchability factor. And I'm going to meh Incredibles 2. And here's why. While I was watching Incredibles 2, which I loved that we were back with those characters, like the previous version, it just felt so incredibly long. And then I saw Spider-Verse, and when I saw Spider-Verse, I felt like it was such a fresh animated movie that I was like, yeah, Incredibles 2 was really good, but I didn't want to go back and watch it again. And Spider-Verse, I went back into the theater and watch again. So in a weird way, Incredibles 2 could have been a rent, but it got bumped down because I don't really want to see it again. But it's not like it's a bad movie, right?
No, but it's like Spider-Verse showed you how good it could, a movie could be. And then when a movie's not that good, you're like, you're a meh in comparison.
All right, so those... I
understand.
So I would say unanimity on bleh for Fallen Kingdom, and Black Panther is in the top 2 for all of us, and then it's a little bit different in other places. And with that was our special buy, rent, meh. Now, buy, rent, meh 2, our second buy, rent, meh here, we're going up against our nemesis, the Rotten Tomatoes scores, once again. Now, this is really interesting because I went to the Rotten Tomatoes website to look at the top scored things, and they weight their scores. So, for example, the top movies also had to have a certain number of reviews. So Black Panther is rated as the top movie of the year with a 97% because it has over 400 reviews. But Paddington 2, which is a favorite of Lanz, has 100% and only 200 reviews, so it only made it into a lower section. So we're not going to talk about Paddington 2, but clearly this was like the Citizen Kane of animated bear movies.
It is. So much so that my husband made me watch Paddington 1 so that we can at some point be ready to watch Paddington 2. So once I sat through the dreck of Paddington 1, I better watch part 2.
I mean, Paddington 2, it must be like the Godfather 2 of Paddington movies.
I don't know.
All right, so the top Rotten Tomatoes movies, according to their weighted score: Black Panther 97%, Mission Impossible Fallout 97%, Black Klansman 95%, and Spider-Verse 95%. Buy, rent, meh, or bleh those.
Okay, I want to go first. Because I feel like this is an impossible category, and this just goes to show you how good certain movies were this year. I am buying Spider-Verse. I am renting Klansman. I'm going to have to meh Black Panther because them's the breaks. And Mission Impossible, I have no problem giving you my bleh. That's it. Done.
Bold. All right, Lil, what do you think?
Bold, quick, precision, surgical moves.
Same, and I mean, you can't give Black Panther a meh, but if you're forcing me to,
well, but when you put it up against Spider-Verse and Black Klansman, what do you want from me?
No, exactly.
Like, you're
and
good,
it's still,
but you're no Spider-Verse,
like,
you're no Klansman.
And it's still like the effects are nothing like crazy special. They're like good or whatever. It's more about the writing and the characters and the actors and stuff like that. But you know, other than that, it's still a superhero movie that has like a Forrest Whitaker type Rafiki character that I'm not sure like how I feel about that in terms of, you know, culture and society. I can't.
So you're basically giving it the Forrest Whitaker handicap. Like it could have been the best.
Like but you throw in a Forrest Whitaker there, like dressed as a character from The Lion King, and that'll always like have me a little bit doubting. You know, somebody in that room went a little too far and nobody stopped them. Do you know what I mean? Like just took a teensy bit too far. But it was great. Like you can't really give it a meh, but if I'm forced to, then that gets the meh. Obviously, Spider by Klansman, you know, would get rent. And the thing about Fallout, and I no disrespect to Mike Roberts, who I can't wait to have him on an episode soon to talk about this. The movie was great, and if you watch the special features, which I've said before, I highly recommend, those get a buy. Those special features get a buy.
So buy the
They
movie on
insane.
iTunes so you can get the special features.
Yeah, I mean, put it this way. I enjoyed Fallout, but for the life of me, I do not know what, like, I don't remember what it's about.
James confirmed that thing with his arms where he loaded them up right before he punched.
And it also made no sense.
Remember in the
it just
bathroom
makes
scene?
it makes no sense.
I have no recollection of the plot of that film. I literally couldn't tell you.
However, I didn't realize when I was watching it that it was a documentary. And this is something that I'm going to say on our episode with Mike, is that those like crazy stunt scenes are full on like filmed, like real time, real everything. Tom Cruise is a maniac. So those I buy, but the movie itself, like, we'll just play it for this episode.
Okay. Well, for me, I buy all 4 of these movies. Suckers! No, I'm kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Throw us under the bus.
No.
Wow.
I mean, we all agree that we are doing this
giving me a Sophie's Choice over here and then doing whatever you want.
Of 4 truly terrific movies, and all very different when you think about it. We got an animated movie. We've got a Spike Lee, I would say
historical fiction drama.
Yeah. You got a classic action blockbuster, and then you got Black Panther, which to me, it makes me think of Avatar and Titanic, like a movie, or the Lord of the Rings one, the year that the Lord of the Rings won. It's a movie that is a great movie, but it is so much bigger than just being a movie.
Yeah.
That to me, I know I'm rooting for, I've mentioned before, I'm rooting for Black Klansman for Best Picture, but to me, Black Panther embodies a lot of what would make it a really exciting, amazing Best Picture.
And it does have, in that sense, it does have Forrest Whitaker in its favor.
Okay. Right, because
elevates it.
And it's got, that's absolutely right. So that being said, I am gonna go along similar lines with you all. I'm gonna buy Black Klansman. That was my favorite movie of the year. Spider-Verse is gonna be my rent, even though. As mentioned by my top movies of the year, and then Black Panther will come in third, and then Mission Impossible Fallout, a kind of, again, totally enjoyable movie. I really, really, really loved it, but it doesn't, it falls outside of the category of those other 3 movies, which were on another level for me. And with that, we have wrapped up another of our special segments for the New Year's holiday special. Becky, Lily, do you have any New Year's wishes for our listeners?
I wish that whatever movie this week or the next few weeks you go see in the theater, when we come around to celebrating New Year's 2020, you remember them. You know what I mean? Because
that's
probably,
a great wish.
not to make you feel bad, but whatever you watch this month, it's going to be like amnesia by the time new movies come out. So enjoy it.
Beck, how about you?
My wish for you is that you get to look back on Spider-Verse and enjoy that song Sunflower as much as I am, because not only do I like hear it everywhere I go now, and it always literally it makes me jump up and get happy and
100%. And you also don't know the words like Miles, so you're like, yeah, you go.
It's great, and it kind of gives you the freedom to do that, just bob your head and not know the words and be in a good mood. So that's my wish for you.
So I wish for our listeners that in 2019, when we are recording our episode in 2019 in late December, after the last Star Wars movie in the current series comes out, they will get a truly happy, wonderful review from us, because J.J. Abrams will have saved Star Wars.
He'll bring it home. J.J. will bring it home.
And with that, Happy New Year. Make your noises.
Happy New Year.
So, who do you think came up with the Skype ringtone, and do you think they made a lot of money from it?
I don't think they made any money from it. And if you keep slurping like that, someone's going to smack you in the face.